Well, Nimish Patel works for Saturday Night Live. He is in case you're keeping track, the first Indian-American cast member on that show. You'd think that would make him a hero to the pro-diversity crowd. But instead, Patel is a villain tonight. Why? Well, he recently made the mistake of going to Columbia University, where all the impressive kids go, and did a comedy set briefly before he was booted off stage. He told a joke that began roughly this way. Being gay can't be a choice, he said, because, quote, no one looks in the mirror and thinks, this black thing is too easy, let me just add another thing to it, end quote. Now, is that a funny joke? I don't know. Your call. But it's not really attacking anybody. It hardly seems vicious. But you can't say that in 2018. So the question is, what exactly can you say? Well, Dave Portnoy seems to say exactly whatever he wants to say all the time. He's the founder of Barstool Sports. For some reason, it's working for him, if nobody else. He joins us tonight to tell us how he does that. Dave, thanks a lot for joining us. So, am I missing something? I didn't think it was a particularly hilarious joke, or maybe there was more to it. He got yelled off stage before he could finish. But that didn't seem to me to cross any kind of obvious line, or am I missing the lines, I guess?
No, I thought that was a pretty good joke. The name of the event, by the way, I think was Culture Shock Reclaim. I mean, if you go to a comedy club and you have shock in there and that offends you, you probably shouldn't be in the comedy club. Very, very odd set of circumstances to actually being paid or whatever to go to this event and be offended by any sort of joke. And like you said, that was a nothing joke. I mean, I think it's well written, but he had to be the most surprised guy in the room.
I mean, what's amazing to me is this is Columbia. Like, these are supposed to be the smartest, most sophisticated young people in America, certainly the ones with the highest SAT scores. What does it tell you that they have literally no sense of humor?
Well, I mean, that actually doesn't surprise me about the Ivy Leagues. I don't know where you went, Tucker. You seem like you could be an Ivy League guy with the bow tie and all that. But it's but Ivy League guys, I mean, they're stuffy, no sense of humor. That's kind of the stereotype. But then you have the other side of it. I mean, there's certainly, like, the Harvard Lampoon is certainly famous for pushing boundaries and things like that. I don't know what this club was. It was Asian Allegiance of something. Again, you can't name the event Culture Shock. And then when somebody says a pretty vanilla joke in the scheme of jokes, get upset. Very odd. He just had to be shocked. Like, whoa, what did I say? He probably didn't even know.
So I've asked you this before, but I can't get enough of it because I think it's so interesting. You run a site, it's one of the most popular, and I would say also one of the best on the internet, where you seem to say pretty much exactly what you feel like saying, and all your writers, Francis Ellis, one of my favorites, on your site, have the same attitude. And you continue to do it without being forced to stop. How do you do that? How do you carve out that freedom in a world where there isn't any freedom?
Yeah, we built that. Again, we're not a slave to our advertisers. That's a huge thing. So we don't get caught in the winds of public opinion and things like that. And it works for us. And to be honest, we've come to now accept in this environment where people get mad about jokes like that, we're just going to stay true to what we do. And there is a big market for it. And there's always going to be haters. And a lot of times the haters don't even know what we do. Tucker, I've been called, like, anti-Semitic a million times. I'm Jewish. So, you know, people just don't know what they're talking about. But I get that like once a week.
When someone says, Dave Portnoy, you anti-Semite, how do you respond to that?
It depends what type of mood. Sometimes I'll be like, yeah, you're right, you nailed it. I'm like a Nazi or something. But and again, I'm playing, and people are so crazy they may take that out of context. So, you know, we are a comedy site. We're comfortable in what we do. But if people don't like something, they feel like they're right. They don't want to hear the other side of the coin. But they'll go out of the way. There were pictures of me, Tucker, on this show, and somebody tried to say somehow that made me, like, anti-Semite. And it's like, dude, I'm Jewish. So what are you talking about? People just don't really want to look into the context or what's going on. And we've embraced it. And there is a big market for it. And I think that makes us more popular in this day and age when people are afraid to say, you know, that joke that guy got booted off stage for, that's ridiculous. Steve Carell, The Office, my personal favorite comedy, he was on record, I think, a couple weeks ago. He says, The Office couldn't exist now. Two people would get mad.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a shame. That's a true shame.
But you tell the truth and you're winning anyway. That's why you're an inspiration to the rest of us. Dave Portnoy, El Presidente, great to see you.
Appreciate it.